Still watching the daily debate, dear viewers, with our dear guest, Engineer Amany Shenawy, member of civil society and international service organizations. Engineer Amany, how do you view, in general, the importance of Egypt's social protection programs, the initiatives in the midst of its vision for 2030 and its strategy for sustainable development?
The social solidarity initiatives, and especially those concerning the poverty, are very important in our Egyptian Vision 2030 and in the Sustainable United Nations goals that we're working on as well. Because one of the main concerns of those initiatives is decreasing poverty and getting rid of poverty. This means that people should be helped to not to be poor, to be having their living standards better. And this is what the initiatives are concerned with.
We've seen a lot of initiatives, perhaps the biggest of them, the presidential initiative, Decent Life or Hayat Karima, and other initiatives. Tell us about their achievements.
The presidential initiative is the biggest of all, because it has many areas of focus into it, developing people's life and giving people a decent life. If we're talking about the job opportunities that Hayat Karima or Decent Life supplies to people, so it's one of the main important points in getting rid of poverty and creating job opportunities for people. There are many other initiatives that are concerned with the social solidarity or the how to make people live better. People who do not have health insurance, who do not have any kind of insurance, they are brought to the database. We have a very big database in the initiative of Takaful and Karama, or dignity and solidarity, if we may talk about it.
Yeah. And Engineer Amany, back to Hayat Karima, I guess. So it has a role in providing clean water, building clinics in rural villages in the poorest of areas, building schools, taking care of the education of young girls and developing skills of the youth and much more, right?
True.
Okay.
Hayat Karima, as we mentioned, has many areas of focus, most of which, or we can say all of them, concern the development of the citizen himself, because our asset is our people. If we have people developing in the right way, then we're having a better human index, which shows the development of the country. So developing people and developing their life, they should have good health and good education. Having good health, for instance, in addition to the hospitals, to the good health cares in villages, which are now established, you may also seek people to have water in their houses. So you're talking about water connections in every house. This is what we're achieving with Hayat Karima or Decent Life. It takes the village from all points of focus, from all the areas of focus, and it develops the villages, starting with the needy villages and the rural areas.
How big is the reach of Hayat Karima or Decent Life? I mean, how many millions does it reach?
So far, it reached a very big number of people, and it is a very intelligent initiative indeed, because it started with the very poor villages that people were not looking for developing it. So when you start with the most needy and you raise the standard of living in those villages, I can remember that a figure about the first stage of the initiative of Haya Karima or Decent Life, that it helped 95, it did its achievement, 95% of its achievements was in Upper Egypt and in the very needy villages there. And now getting them to the map, having even the transportation, the network of how should they go to their work, how should they have healthcare units in their place, how schools
So
are
we're talking
built.
about tens of millions, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. What about Takaful and Karama, or solidarity and dignity?
Solidarity and Dignity is a social justice initiative. If Solidarity takes care of women and kids, Dignity is for the elderly. So if you're talking about the elderly having social insurance, people who were not on the map, who were not in our database, they register. And when their case is studied and they are, they can have the rule of having their insurance, so they get money every month that they deserve. Same for the ladies. You have a very big database in Egypt where people register. Some people deserve the insurance, some not. In this database, sometimes, like in Corona time, people left their jobs. So some people who didn't deserve the takaful or the karama money, they deserved it. And the database shows this automatically because it is totally digitalized.
Right. Now, Engineer Amany, you people at civil society and international service organizations have a role, and you cooperate with the government and with the private sector in these initiatives. Tell us about your role at civil society and service organizations.
We consider ourselves partners, as we're all working for raising up the society, for having equity between people. So if we're talking about Takaful and Karama, the second step, or the step that goes parallel, is having job opportunities that the government and the initiative create for people. Having good job opportunity means they are removed from social solidarity initiative and they go to other initiatives. Example, we have an initiative called, it's also a governmental initiative, it's called Mastura. This gives loans to women. We have an initiative called Forsa. Forsa in Arabic means opportunity. So it gives youth and women loans to have job opportunities. The NGOs have a very important role in helping the government for training those people who will take loans. Because if you give people loans and you don't train them, they will lose the money. We have to give them the vocational service. The way also the government do this. The government is the important one who takes care of the initiatives.
What about the private sector?
The private sector, maybe the role is funding, because you have loans given to people. This means funds. Also the NGOs can fund, but it's the Ministry of Finance and the budget that the government puts for people to have those big initiatives that matter. But we are all partners. We help people to have jobs. Also, there is a very good initiative which is called تتلف في حرير. Means it should be wrapped in silk. What's this that should be wrapped? The hands of the people who are working in the handcrafts.
Okay.
Because it gives them loans and it gives them job opportunities that they make for themselves as in handcrafts, and also they have to pay back for the government or
whoever funded them.
Yes.
Very good. Now, Dr. Amany, in your opinion, what are some examples of community development projects that have taken place here in Egypt and serve the goal of social solidarity and social justice, the community development projects?
You have a lot of community development projects concerning people. If you're talking about a sector like the disabled, they are taken care of, and instead of being jobless, they are taught to work and to have jobs. They are helped by many ways. Ways of transportation. They can have a car if they
a subsidized car.
Yes, and they are exempted from the taxes. They are exempted from transportation fees. So you transform people's life. Maybe someone has a certain disability that allows him to work from home and have a digital work online. So there are a lot of cases that are studies and projects that help people to get better. If you're talking about the new cities that are built in Egypt with all those transportation roads and good transportation in good time without having traffic jams and losing the time. All those cities give people job opportunities.
Indeed. Indeed, yes, Engineer Amany. And since you mentioned people with special abilities, as we call them, definitely a lot of progress has been made in Egypt for their sake and for what they deserve in the past few years. Now, how does Egypt ensure to continue on this path, the sustainability of social welfare programs? We want to, be assured that this will continue. A lot of effort has been spent, but how do we make sure that we are on solid ground, that we're even going to expand on such programs?
All the community is, everyone is convinced of what's happening. If you're talking about the disabled, we saw President El-Sisi increasing the budget that will go for special needs children in their day. In order to serve more children, because those people, you transform their lives from people who are not working to people who are athletes, who are making great successes. Also, in case of the loans, when people succeed in returning back the money and having a good business or a good project that will serve the community, other people to take those money, and it is a circle that increase the funding of the loans and of the people in those loans and make more job opportunities. The NGOs work on ground and see a lot of progress in those cases.
Well, definitely we commend your efforts. I mean, a lot of efforts have been spent by the NGOs along with the government. Engineer Amany, dear viewers, let's watch another report here in the program and come back and continue our discussion. And this is a report about the social protection system for greater flexibility, inclusivity and sustainability here in Egypt.
Over the last years, the government has promoted and enhanced social initiative programs, including consecutive wage and pension increases, as well as the Takaful and Karama and social solidarity initiatives. In reference to the 2030 agenda and the country's vision, the government has launched national initiatives that aims to develop people's awareness regarding the existing services given by the state and other social matters that impede development. The main topics that have been the core of the governments are Decent Light Initiative, Economic Empowerment, Takaful wa Karama, or Solidarity and Dignity, as well as other more presidential initiatives aimed for solving matters, early detection of disability for children, early childhood education, and more. Egypt's Vision 2030 is to reach a cohesive and productive Egyptian society that provides economic development and a decent life for the family and the individual on foundations of integrity and participation. In this regard, the government seeks to provide social protection, integrated care and economic empowerment to eligible citizens. In this light, it has initiated campaigns to develop services throughout the Republic, making sure Egyptian citizens know all about them. Through the presidential initiative Haya Karima or Decent Life, the government is adopting a new approach to empower women and to encourage their integration in the labor market, securing them via various programs, microfinance opportunities, some of which are non-refundable and some are refundable, posed to a socio-economic assessment to the capabilities and the geopolitical presence. Egypt is actively working to enhance its social protection system, aiming for greater flexibility, inclusivity, and sustainability.
You're still watching the daily debate, dear viewers, and still with us is Engineer Amany Shenawy, member of civil society and international service organization. As we heard in the report, Engineer Amany, very recently we saw an important moves by the state to raise the minimum wage, increase pensions. We saw also initiatives like We Are All One, against, you know, what was a real surge and very high inflation in basic commodities. So tell us about what you think of these moves and how effective they have been in alleviating some of the pressures that millions of Egyptians were facing due to the economic crisis, you know, at home, regionally and globally.
There are reforms that are done all the time. And as we're in a global economic crisis everywhere, in Egypt we had in the last months a raise by the state of 15% for the takaful and karama, and it's going to reach 55% in the year 24-25. We had an increase in the wages such that the minimum wage is now,
wage, yes.
Yeah, it's now 6,000 pounds, which is a great achievement in this area. The government is trying always, and the state is trying to reduce the inflation and retrieve the stability of the market, because having prices that got up in the past 6 months maybe, we have to try and achieve stability at the macroeconomic level. So having the minimum wages increased and having the takaful and karama pensions increased too will make stability in the market and will make people live better.
What about those initiatives that aimed at reducing prices, especially after the big, great news of the Ras al-Hikmah deal and the stabilizing of the Egyptian pound against the US dollar and against foreign currencies? So for a couple of months now, things have been a little bit more stable, right? But have prices really, come down in a manner that has alleviated the pressures, or do we still need more? And how effective have been initiatives like We Are All One and others been?
This is a great initiative. We Are All One is an initiative by the government and especially by the Ministry of Interior. It also has partners who are the chain stores in Egypt. Actually, it's a very intelligent initiative because it has discounts on all the supplies that the hypermarkets and the big markets offer to people. People go and search for the initiative of We Are All One. It's in the stores and in the big chains that work with the Ministry of Interior, and it's also, it has tents, big tents in the streets where there's no stores that sell their goods. It's a very important initiative that will take prices down for sure, especially if we increase the places where it sells to people.
Right. But there has been resistance from the parts of many merchants and traders and brokers. Right? There is resistance.
This is true, but the merchants and the big...
Although the prices have to come down because they were, telling customers that the reason they are selling for these prices is because the dollar in the black market is, 70 pounds or something. And now there is no black market anymore, and the dollar is something like 48 or something.
This is true. They calculated, they had false calculations that they made, and they raised the prices. If we take an example, the stores who are selling goods in the initiative of We Are All One, do they lose? They don't lose. They sell in good prices and they gain money. Why? Because they sell more. The merchants have to know that if they have good prices, they sell in good prices, they will sell more and they will gain more money. So it's at the end a win-win situation between the merchants and the customers. Customers, when they find initiatives like We Are All One and go buy from those stores and from those tents of the initiative will leave the other merchants with their goods, that they have to reduce their prices. So I believe it's the customer who plays the important role here, not to buy from merchants who have very high prices, and which is not logic. So it's better to go and buy from the initiatives and from where...
So you're saying that eventually the market mechanisms will take over? I mean,
I believe so.
And the prices will come down further?
I believe if a merchant has goods that it's not sold, he will go down with the prices because he wants to work. If he have a low profit, this is better than having no profit.
Right.
So he has to go down with his prices.
Market mechanism will prevail in the end. Now, Engineer Amany, a big part of the social welfare programs in Egypt is targeting the human element itself, our wealth, our human power, the Egyptian character. Tell us about these efforts aimed at developing and building the Egyptian character.
In order to develop citizens, you should look for the education and health. We talked about the health, and there are a lot of initiatives. 100 million health is a very big initiative that it's a role model actually that takes care of health of people, especially women, early detection of diseases, children. We have a lot of health development in the hospitals, big hospitals that are developed like Nasser Institute, like big institutes, health institutes. Also we have healthcare units in the villages which are initiated, built and developed. So taking care of the health of people and having health awareness about being about walking, about having sports, about eating healthy will make the health of people better. Education and having new systems in the education, discussions between the teachers and the students, having to pull information from the student, not only to push information. New systems of digitalizing the education. All this will have a great impact on the kids.
Our human capital.
Yes.
And this is why we say the human capital, and certainly a very precious element of the human capital is women. So how do you see the vital role that women play regarding the social solidarity file?
Women are half the society, and from long ago, since the pharaonic era, the Egyptian women was always empowered. In special eras, maybe this empowerment was less, but now the state is empowering women, because empowering women and making the women active is making half the society active and productive. So now we're having a lot of initiatives for women education. Of course, a lot of women in Egypt are educated and are working in all the jobs. Women in Egypt have the same salary as men, and this is very important in equity, because people are equal. Women are having initiatives that they can register in, like solidarity and dignity. They can have loans from initiatives like Mastura and initiatives like Forsa, which they have their own jobs created a lot of entrepreneur women go for that. I just read about an initiative which is a very good one. It's for fishermen and fisherwomen. We do have fisherwomen in the Miata. And this initiative takes care of those fishermen and women and give them loans to have boats and nets and special fishing aids.
Wonderful. Now, finally, Engineer Amany, what about the challenges facing progress in the efforts of achieving a more inclusive and more sustainable social solidarity program?
Our main challenge in Egypt is the big number of people. But this challenge can be transformed into an opportunity.
Sure.
Because we consider people the asset. So you give them all the resources that they need, all the education, all the health opportunities, and they are our asset.
Indeed. On that beautiful note, dear viewers, we thank on behalf of you very much our dear guests here with us in the studio, Engineer Amany Shenawy, the chemical engineer and the Civil Society and International Service Organization member. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to have you. And thank you, dear viewers, for watching the Daily Debate. Goodbye.